Trump is quite a vengeful guy. I'm sure he wants revenge for what happened in 2020. I'm sure that no stone will be left uncut.
I'm not happy that Donald Trump is back in the White House, but I am overjoyed that Kamala Harris is not, that Joe Biden...
Tell me about your hat. Are you excited about today?
We are excited for today, yes. We're here really to celebrate the end of the Biden regime.
I'm happy that Kamala Harris and Biden have gone because their government is completely, administration is completely soaked in blood.
It's actually nice to be at a gathering like this, that rather than being a protest or a demonstration, is actually a celebration.
This is a different Donald Trump, I think. I think this is a more measured Donald Trump. And
why do you say that?
Well, I think he's got a stronger mandate now, for a start. I think he's had that experience of those first 4 years. There was a lot of internal opposition. He was finding his feet, of course.
But some people say now he's sort of surrounding himself with yes men.
I don't know about that so much. He's bringing a lot. He's his own man.
What about the billionaires that Trump's surrounding himself with? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos.
If they're on his side, and he is number one, and he himself is a billionaire, so he hopefully doesn't need to be leaned on by anyone because he doesn't need any more money.
Some say that Trump's a very fiery character. You don't know what to predict of him. Do you think that makes a strong leader?
I think he is a disruptor as a leader. And yes, I do think it can make him a strong leader. His intrinsic unpredictability is a good thing, because these are entrenched systems that have been long overdue for disruption.
The 2020 election, this would be the last day of President Donald Trump. This would be the last day of his second term, but they rigged the election to get rid of...
In your speech just there, you said that the 2020 election was rigged. There's no evidence of that. Why are you still saying that?
I think there's enormous evidence already, but I'll tell you what, nothing like...
But there isn't.
Nothing like the amount of evidence that there's going to be. I said that Trump is quite a vengeful guy. I'm sure he wants revenge for what happened in 2020. I'm sure that no stone will be left uncovered.
Do you think Keir Starmer should be taking a leaf out of Donald Trump's book?
I don't think he's capable of... he's such a slow-thinking, slow-moving, clunky, robotic individual that I just don't think he's capable of it. I think this is the best Keir Starmer that you're going to see. I don't think he's capable of changing his style, changing his act. And I fully expect that Labour members of Parliament are themselves having that conversation right now.
Well, I think Trump is a danger to the world.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think he's going to start. He wants something to do with the takeover Greenland and Canada and the Panama Canal, and he's a convicted criminal, and he's a misogynist, and he thinks he's going to rule the world. He's a climate change denier, and God, what's going to happen to us all?
The American people did vote for Trump.
I know.
Why do you think that
And
is?
he's, think of all the millions of refugees he's going to deport. It's all a bit, I don't know, selfish. There's no humanity, is there?
I feel that big tech, Republican magna, the Republican GOP has submitted themselves to bowing the knee, kissing the ring, whatever phrase you want to use. And I'm shocked. And it's so ironic, given that they just buried Jimmy Carter, who did more in his presidency and after his presidency than anybody. And it's a sorrow in my heart that people have drunk the Kool-Aid and are following this cult.
I was, very saddened when Kamala Harris wasn't elected. And I think it's important because America has such a big influence on British politics that we do take notice and protest in this country. For me, particularly about women's rights and women's rights, productive rights, I think is really important because what happens in America could well have a knock-on effect here. And I think, women to have choice is absolutely fundamental and vital.
What do you think about Trump saying, he's had involvement in the Gaza-Israel ceasefire deal? What do you make of that?
He's talking nonsense. I think, like so many things that he does, he talks absolute nonsense. Although I expect it is to some degree true that Netanyahu came to the negotiating table because he was terrified of what Trump was saying. Although whether Trump would have ever really delivered on what he was saying is a big question mark. They both live in fantasy land, in their own bubbles, and are just looking after themselves rather than the needs of the American people, the Israeli people, or the world.
The American people, they did vote for Trump. Obviously, this is his second time in office. Why do you think they did vote for him?
Well, I think it's a mixture of things. I think some of them were completely conned. Some of them are quite rightfully fed up with the Washington establishment. And some of them have been ignored by Biden and Harris over the last 4 years, and they have not had their needs met. Same as people over here that will be in the so-called Red Wall. If Starmer and Reeves don't get their act together soon, they'll find that reform will rise up because that the mainstream parties are clearly not serving the needs of low-income people.
I feel shame. I feel sadness. I feel afraid for the future. And I feel grateful that I'm here in the UK. So although it may not affect me personally, I very much care about my homeland, and I want to be amongst those who say we don't want that here. And we want to stand in solidarity with people in the US that will suffer.
My final question is, how do you feel about your future?
Oh, I mean, my future, I feel fine because I'm here in the UK and I have a lot more rights. So my individual future, fine. It worries me more globally, particularly for women and people of color and of different racial or religious backgrounds.